Hey y'all, I'd like to share my thoughts on the tragic news of Steve Cotter's passing. And as so many others have done, I'd like to pay tribute to his memory and to all the great things that he's done, the inspiration that he's been for just so amazing amount of people. Personal story, I got involved with the IKFF in about 2011. I learned about kettlebells as I started personal training at a local club. And there was something about it that, the kettlebells, that when I finally really grasped what it was doing, how it was different. So anyway, I did some online, watching of videos, and initially was looking at RKC, but then I saw Steve's videos and it just blew me away with his charisma and his manner of speaking and just inspirational way about him. So I have nothing but positive things to say about Steve, and wanted to add that I had kind of run to a crossroads in my life. I went back to school in around 2014, and I contacted Steve, just sending a random Facebook message, not assuming that he would respond, but I was I had a level 1 cert, and I figured I'd try. And he very quickly responded to me, gave me great advice and inspiration to go through a speech that I was making at school. I got 100% on it, and it just helped me kind of change my life direction by getting through that, having the experience with the kettlebells, and then moving on to other things. But the big thing that I wanted to talk about is his premature passing. And it's been, there's been a lot of discussion and speculation, and there's an amazing article written by somebody who goes by the name of Taco LaFleur on Facebook. I did some links to it. My take is, first of all, he did it so well. I really can't say anything more than he knows a lot more about Steve than I do. But my perspective on it was, initially, I went back and watched a lot of videos that Steve had done. He's always so wonderful at speaking and just life perspective and experience, and he left it all out there. He shared so much about his life. That's what, one of the things that's just amazing. He had challenges like everybody else, and he wasn't afraid to talk about them, and he did so in a way that was so positive. That's the big thing for me. Is the kettlebell obviously was around before him, and he got involved, and he really, I'd say, to me, was the most inspirational kettlebell trainer to further that I would say field or modality of exercise and champion its benefits. But then his demeanor, his manner of discussion on various topics was what really set him apart, in my mind, from anybody else. Not to say there aren't so many wonderful people out there, but I personally just felt like he was the guy for me, and I'm sure that's the same way with so many other people that really saw his, took to his amazing ways about him. So anyway, to the point, on his early passing, that's what's so shocking about it. That's why I'm I've been thinking about him nonstop really since this. I had not really seen his videos for quite a while. I didn't know what he was up to. I've gone a different direction with my career, but still, haven't forgot about him, of course. And I still have many contacts on Facebook that refer to, kettlebell stuff and fitness stuff. So I still enjoy and love that world. It's just not where I'm making my living now. In any case, so the early passing aspect, my issue about it is he was putting himself out there as a longevity coach, as his, kind of his title. And it's not to be disrespectful, although anybody can interpret anything they want, however they want. But let's just look in the mirror, everybody. At everything we do. And if the result didn't work, we just definitely have to re-examine and evaluate what happened, and if we need to change or think about things, or at least, discuss it, I would say. So what I'm getting at is, in 2014, I've gone back and watched many videos of his, and I wasn't fully aware that he had gone full vegan, but I did, encounter his interviews. One of them was with Mike Mailer, but he did several others where he really went into detail about his perspective. And to me, it's a dangerous one because certainly I understand a lot of it is about the vegan part of the vegan. I call it a cult. I mean, it's certainly a way of life, and I understand and respect that. And everybody, let me be clear, should have certainly the ability to make whatever choices and raise and politicize whatever views they have. No problem with that. But it's just my focus is on when you put yourself out as a longevity, and obviously he didn't have longevity. He, and any of us could go at any time. I realize that. But passing at 55 with seemingly great health is conflicting and raises questions as to whether or not what he was preaching is really right or is at least needs to be evaluated. So my take is that the vegan diet, and I've got a lot of family background in medicine. That doesn't make me an expert or anything. It's just a lot of life perspective that the vegan diet is not good for overall health. Certainly people can live on it. It's just a lot more risky, and our bodies are, this gets into maybe my philosophy, but the reality is, we are animals, and animals in the wild, we live off other animals, and that's just the way of life. That's just a fact of our evolution, our metabolism, our chemistry has evolved on that. And again, that's not to say you can't be a vegan. You can't push those ideas that about against animal cruelty and all that. I accept that that's how people feel that are involved in that culture. But if you really look at things, from purely a health perspective and not the emotional, be good for the world and all that. The reality is we do best off of animal products, and that's really what I wanted to talk about. And like I said, Taco LaFleur wrote an article and did refer to that as the only seeming there's nothing else that's come out about Steve Cotter's death that would suggest that it was something else. And so diet is, to me, the most important choices you make, and you definitely want to make those choices carefully if you want to live a long life and see your kids grow up and all that. So again, anybody can pass at any time. I'm not in any way attempting to bash Steve or any vegan, but again, it's a look in the mirror kind of thing. And just be aware that the vegan and vegetarian diets are, by nature, plants are toxins. Plants produce, toxins that are meant to deter other organisms from eating it. Animals don't have that, and again, our metabolism is that of an animal. So I don't want to go on too long, but I just wanted to put something out there. I really wanted to honor Steve at the same time, raise the issue, make aware that, there are those concerns that, people that may be seen as health experts aren't always the healthiest people and don't always live the long lives that they're, professing that their training and their guidance would result in. And I take it a little bit step further. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I did listen to a lot of Steve's things, and regardless of how great and wonderful and amazing I think Steve was in so many ways, he was a bit arrogant about the diet. I again consider the veganism to be more of a cult than a really a lifestyle or health choice. And he, made reference in one of the Mike Mailer interviews to, well, I don't, if you're eating meat and you're going to die of a heart attack at 65, and that comment, and you can look back at it if you want, sort of shows the ignorance. And Steve wasn't really wanting to dig into the science. He made many references in many of his videos that I have watched over the past few days to the fact that, it was really more of an emotional thing. And that's not the way to make healthy medical lifestyle, life longevity choices. And I just want to, again, put that out there, that's my perspective. I mean, it's more than a perspective. It's observation. It's, research, trial and error. I got scared when I was a kid about saturated fats because of the medical industry's, focus on it and trying to sell cholesterol medications which are completely useless. And, at one point I went into a non-fat as much as possible diet, just again falling for the propaganda, which again is what I think Steve did. And, despite him being an amazing, inspirational person, he did fall for propaganda, and he did regurgitate a lot of that propaganda. So certainly make your own choices, and just be aware of your results, be aware of others' results, and be very careful about the decisions you make, and look and do as much research and be as open-minded as possible. Thanks for anyone who listened to this. I know it's really not for anybody in particular. It's more for myself. I just felt like talking about this because I've really been thinking about Steve so much over the last, several days. I don't know if it's 4 or 5 days now that he passed. And again, he was an incredible person. I strongly feel that he changed my life for the much, much better. And I certainly absolutely wish he was around. I wish he had not passed away early. I take no joy in discussing this. The fact that I think the vegan diet is what caused his early death. I wish he was around, but I mean, everybody's their own person. And I just, certainly honor people in the ways that they've been instrumental and helpful. At the same time, question, what you're told. Make your own decisions, do your own research, and have a great one, folks.